watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout out to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout outs to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Hola, habla Cindy, está viendo Deportes TV.
Bob just be talking. He don't know nothing. He just be talking. He said that I sparred Lomachenko, and Lomachenko did something in the first round. He did nothing. He made up a whole story. Bob just be talking.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, undefeated, rising featherweight star Shakur Stevenson will be taking on JOET Gonzalez October 26th for the vacant WBO featherweight title. He did a press conference today, and Shakur Stevenson obviously had a lot of things to say. Shakur Stevenson had a lot of, bad blood and towards JOET Gonzalez, right? He said that, he don't like him. He don't like what he stands for. He don't like him as a person, and he can't wait to put hands on him. Says he's going to destroy him. He says he don't like his actions, so on and so forth, right? He was asked, why is this personal? If you haven't known, their reports came out. JOET Gonzalez said that Shakur Stevenson was dating his sister, and he said that it's personal on his side because Shakur Stevenson said things about his family, so this is the making of a great fight. This is a great fight in the making, right? With that said, he was asked about some things that his promoter, top-ranked CEO and promoter Bob Arum had to say, and Shakur Stevenson said this. He said, "Why do y'all listen to Bob Arum? Bob Arum don't know what he be talking about. Bob Arum just be talking." He said that Bob Arum makes up stories. He made up a story about himself and Vasyl Lomachenko in their sparring session. He said he had no idea what went on, but he went up and made up this whole story that wasn't even true. He said, so, y'all have to stop listening to Bob Arum because he just be talking. And this is, a testament to Bob Arum when it comes to Bob Arum, negotiating fights and saying things in the public. Bob Arum sometimes just rants, and it seems like in his old age, he just goes on these rants. And Shakur Stevenson is saying, stop listening to Bob Arum. He just goes on these tantrums and he makes up his own stories. Bob Arum states that, the situation with Deontay Wilder, undefeated WBC American heavyweight champion, and his fighter, undefeated British lineal heavyweight champion, Tyson the Gypsy King Fury, Bob Arum has a lot of things to say about that makes you, question it, right? Also, another fight that the world wants to see is undefeated, unified welterweight superstar boxer Earl the True Spence Jr. and Bob Arum's fighter, undefeated WBO welterweight pound for pound king Terrence Bud Crawford. Bob Arum chimes in on that. He says a lot of things about that. We saw Terrence Crawford come out today and say some things about Errol Spence. Bob Arum then went and backed it up by saying that the fight is guaranteed to take place in 2020. He says that he met Al Heyman, who's the manager and advisor for Errol Spence Jr., who also has the PBC. His team deals with Fox, Showtime. Bob Arum deals with ESPN. He used to deal with HBO. He no longer deals with HBO, as HBO is no longer in existence when it comes to the sport of boxing. So he says that he met Al Heyman face to face and they have a deal in place. And, Errol Spence once upon a time stated that right in front of Bob Arum, "I never met with you. I never talked to you. I never reached out to you. Why would I do such a thing?" And so, it makes it hard to believe things that Bob Arum says because his own fighters come out and they say, well, that's not entirely true, and like Shakur Stevenson saying is none of what Bob Arum says is true, and I think that might be, part of the promoter part in Bob Arum's side. He's used to doing things a certain kind of way, and old age at this point in time. So like Shakur Stevenson said, he made up a whole story about Shakur Stevenson's sparring session with Vasyl Lomachenko, who was unified lightweight world champion, right? He says those things never took place. So with that said, you know, it makes it hard to believe anything Bob Arum. Bob Arum came out and he stated that, you know, Errol Spence and Shawn Porter fight didn't do no more than 200,000 pay-per-view buys. He comes out, he says that they offered Deontay Wilder a huge lucrative deal that he turned down. You know, he comes out, he says that, you know, Tyson Fury is the #1 heavyweight in the world and he's selling out all over the place. And then Bob Arum will go on and do a interview immediately following when he said that and say Tyson Fury is a hard sell. Bob Arum comes out, he says that Terence Crawford is the best fighter in the world, but he's not marketable. When he's with Vasyl Lomachenko, Bob Arum will say Vasyl Lomachenko is the greatest fighter he's ever seen since Muhammad Ali. Yet, in the same token, he'll say Terence Crawford is the best fighter currently, and Vasyl Lomachenko is still active. So it makes it very hard and very difficult to believe the things that Bob Arum says. You know, I don't know how these fighters, you know, still signed with Bob Arum up until this point. You know, when Bob Arum has been proven to be getting over on fighters. He lost tons and tons of fighters, right? Tons and tons of great talent. Immediately that comes to mind, Floyd Mayweather left Bob Arum, bought himself out. Oscar De La Hoya did the same. Miguel Cotto, recently Manny Pacquiao. You know, these are guys that are great talent, all-time great talents, and they just couldn't deal with the way Bob Arum did business. That's the reason why, you know, we had an issue when Terence Crawford re-signed with Top Rank and Bob Arum. You know, and listen, if he's loyal to Bob Arum, there's no problem with that. But when it comes to the business side and the sport of boxing, you know, how could you trust Bob Arum is going to get it done, right? When Bob Arum contradicts himself and his own fighters are saying, listen, you can't believe Bob Arum. And when he was younger, in his younger days, the fighters didn't trust and believe in Bob Arum. That's the reason why the fighters I just named left Bob Arum, right? You know, so you know, it becomes difficult to believe what Bob Arum says. Is he trying to put his best foot forward to make the best fights out there? Who knows, right? And as a fighter like Terence Crawford, Shakur Stevenson, Tyson Fury, Jose Ramirez, you know, any of these guys, top fighters in their divisions, you know, they have to question, you know, is Bob Arum putting his best foot forward to make the best fights possible for these guys, you know, especially the Terence Crawfords of the world. Tyson Fury, don't truly have to worry about that so much because Tyson Fury is in a small division and it has no choice but to get done. But when you have fighters in and around your division and there's so much going on, there's so much traffic, that's when you start to have to question things, right? Are you trying to make the best fights possible? Shakur Stevenson is at 126 pounds and he's going to be moving up through the ranking system, right? So there's going to be a lot going on with that situation. Bob Arum goes on record when it comes to Terence Crawford saying Danny Garcia and Shawn Porter aren't worth paying. He goes on record saying that he don't have the money, the budget to pay Kell Brook. Well, these are viable opponents for Terence Crawford, you know, but you overpay Amir Khan, but you can't overpay Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia, who knocked out Amir Khan, and Amir Khan is far past his prime at this point in time, and Danny Garcia is still in his prime. But you won't pay Danny Garcia, who's in his prime, the money you pay Amir Khan, who's far past his prime. So this is the issues that, you know, people have when it comes to Errol Spence and Shawn Porter. Also, you know, when it comes to Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, you don't know what to believe when it comes from Bob Arum's side. As Shakur Stevenson so elegantly put it, you can't believe what Bob Arum's saying because he makes up his own stories as he goes along. So I just see Shakur Stevenson just waking up to this situation, and I truly don't see Shakur Stevenson staying with Top Rank and Bob Arum for the entirety of his career. I just can't see it. Shakur Stevenson strikes me as a guy who wants to control his own destiny, you know, wants to, you know, be in control of his own world, you know. So I'm pretty sure in his legacy and his career. So I'm pretty sure at some point in time, we'll see a split between Bob Arum and Shakur Stevenson. This is not the first time Shakur Stevenson has put Bob Arum on Front Street. He was on Maximum Boxing, and Shakur Stevenson uttered the same things, that he feels like he's being slighted by his promoter of Top and promotional company and his promoter Bob Arum and Top Rank. So But that's all I got for y'all. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to new media. Shouts out to Black Media Raw. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace. If you haven't purchased your Focus Ball, go purchase your Focus Ball at thefocusball.com. Perfect for hand-eye coordination, perfect for accuracy in combat sports. Use the promo code Blue Blood Sports TV and get 10% off.